It's
Really in New York, man.
It's me and Lo, Michael, and our special guest.
Special guest today. Very special guest.
The Dick!
DickByAir in the motherfucking building!
I ain't gonna lie, y'all should already know the time, man. Everybody gotta take a shot.
Yeah. Shot o'clock, man. Shot o'clock. What time is it? It's
Shot-
2 in the
shot
afternoon
time.
right now. We getting drunk right now.
Fuck it, we here.
It's shot
Yeah.
time. That's what time it is.
It should be illegal. It's
Yeah,
a Thursday, man. The fuck is going on?
Nah, this the start of the weekend. We just getting
Oh, yeah,
started.
you're right. It's the pre-weekend. Fuck. Where do we start, man?
Shit, where y'all want to start? It's a lot.
Your story.
Yeah.
Where did you begin?
You're a fucking inspiration, man. You know that?
Where a lot of people don't know, but I really started off, like, I was promoting, like, Caribbean parties and shit. So, like,
man.
Really?
like, I wasn't even doing parties at first. Like, when I had first, like, left my crib, like, I was going through shit with my family or whatever, and I was, like, living in my man's crib, and I was just in my head, I'm like, yo, what the fuck I'm gonna do for bread? And Postmates, it was when Postmates had first came to the city, and they was giving niggas phones. I ain't have a phone. So I'm like, wait.
Opportunity.
I'm like, free phone, and I can make money on the phone? I'm like, I'm jacking this. So I stole a bike straight.
Right.
I'm like, I'm about to get to it on Postmates. And then niggas would throw parties, and instead of, like, promoting it, I would just be on some, because I was always outside, always trying to be around people. I would just be all day, yo, we out to this party tonight. What party? Yo, my man's throwing a party, we out.
Right.
It was to the point I was bringing more niggas to the party than the niggas that was throwing the party.
You was the function nigga.
Yeah, like I was the flex. Niggas used to literally call me the flex. Like, yo, Lavar's the flex.
I'm weird.
Like, yo, we going with Lavar going. Like, we already know it's gonna be lit.
Right.
Nigga, so I'm just going around. Next thing you know, some dude was just like, yo, like, you wanna promote parties or whatever? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, why not? I'm getting paid like $100 a week at this point, right? When I first started to promote parties. And after a while, I was just like, $100 ain't enough. You know what I mean? Started fucking with some other niggas. So at first I was working with it was a team called Gallus Kids, my son DJ Rich. He was like one of the biggest niggas in Brooklyn doing parties or whatever. That nigga brought me on. I started making like $300, $400, $500 a party. Like, you feel me? They telling me numbers at the end of the night. They actually splitting, breaking bread with everybody and shit. So I'm like, all right, I could do this for a little bit. Went from doing that, started working with my boy Andy Fortune, and we had this spot called Temptations. And every Friday it was 18 plus. It was a 21 plus club, but every Friday we had that shit.
Where you get the bread.
Yeah, 18 plus. We had that shit on lock, like every week for like 2 years straight. Like, we did not miss a weekend unless it was the holidays.
Right.
And then after
What
that,
year was that?
that was 2012 to 2014.
Okay.
It was around those 2 to 3 years, facts. I remember. Because 2015, that was when I left. I left doing the hood shit. And I was like, yo, I'm in the city more than I'm in the hood. I didn't really want to chill in the hood because, like, the niggas I was chilling around was, like, problematic.
Yeah.
You feel me? And it's
the
like,
parties,
it's like,
you know how that goes.
I'm not trying to be scamming all day, on the block all day, beating niggas up all day. It's
Right.
like, I don't want to do that. It's like, I actually want to do some shit in my life. So I just kept chilling in the city. And then niggas was like, yo, you need to start doing your own shit. And then niggas just started, yo, hosted by Lavar. And then I was like, fuck it. My shit used to be the Lavar show. Like, I wasn't even doing parties. I was focusing on, like, funny videos. Like, I was going viral for, like, gay bars.
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
doing all types of, like, next wicked shit.
Right.
So once I started doing, like, the parties outside, like, doing shit with, like, Kyle Rose and Stash and all of them, after that point, I realized my worth. Because now I'm realizing,
That was like an iconic time in the city.
yeah, that was like 20, that was, I'm saying, like, 2015 to 2018. I'm
Like Tumblr days. Like,
I'm like, it was right after, this was right after Tumblr days, too.
Tumblr days was like 2012.
Yeah, that was like
right?
2012 to 2014, and then 2015, that was when the new shit started. And then after a while, I started seeing how much people I was bringing out. I'm like, yo, I got to start really throwing my own events. Because it's like, I put a lot of passion and love into my shit, and a lot of other people I notice is all about the money with them. Like, this shit ain't about the money with me. And it's like,
You do it.
I rather if I make 4 bands, bro, I'd rather take $1,500 and make sure everybody else that worked for me that night is leaving with a good chunk of change. You feel me? I'm not about to pay a nigga $100 and then he go outside, 50 go to the Uber, and the other 50 go to matching a nigga on some weed. You feel me? So it's like, I basically ain't paid him shit.
Right.
So I started,
Transportation and weed.
you feel me? Like, I be thinking about shit like that, and I don't know, I just started trying to put together my own shit. I used to finesse. I ain't have no bread, no crib, nothing. So the way I would finesse parties was I would just ask a nigga like, yo, can you get this spot for me? and they be like, yeah. I'm like, yo, I want to throw a party. They'll put my name on it with them, and then they'll break me off, and then we'll break the DJs off and shit like that. And then after that, my homie Devon from Cypher League, he started plugging me in with this spot called Silent Bond. So Silent Bond, RP Silent Bond, by the way, because that shit.
Wait, that sounds mad familiar.
That shit on Bushwick,
yeah,
on Bushwick Ave,
yeah.
with all the art and shit.
Fucking I remember that, and they had like people like Dash come perform, and like I remember that.
We had mad niggas in that shit. I had my first party I ever did on my own, like officially, was at Silent Ball, and I had Burn Cass perform. It was Burn Cass, Drown Millie, Najee, and my son Zay and Stash had performed.
Shout out them niggas, man.
Nah,
Shout out
facts.
Drown Millie and
Millie doing good right now. Cass still locked.
Yeah,
I'm actually going to see Cass next week when I go back up because he moved to a jail a little bit closer to my crib. So I'm gonna be running, going to see that nigga as much as I can. You feel me? Because niggas, that was another nigga, man. We was in my man's crib, 8 of us, all sleeping in the same room on the floor, just trying to figure this shit out. You feel me? So, like, when I was doing all them events, I was like, I'm like, Silent Bond closed down. All the label niggas start catching on. Now I'm getting booked for, like, label shit. And then that shit started opening my eyes to, like, a lot of other stuff. And then I realized, I'm like, this shit ain't it. Like, this shit not what I'm trying to do. Like,
what about it? What aspect?
it was just on some... Niggas be on some, yeah, we doing this for the youth, we doing this for the kids, but it's like a kid rate would be like $300, and they on some like, oh, we could pay you a bills, or they don't want to pay them at all. And I'm just in my head, I'm like, y'all got hundreds of thousands, probably millions of dollars that y'all already make off of mad artists. Why y'all asking anybody to do anything for free? Like, I was getting paid $250 to host events. That's how the rich stay rich, though. You feel me? And it's like, I'm getting paid $250 to host events, and the only reason I'm doing it is because in my mind, I'm like, I was already going out and finessing fashion week parties and shit. I'm like, there's a lot of people that don't have access to this shit. So I'm like, now that I'm getting booked for, I'm like, a lot of niggas about to have access to this shit, because it's like, I'm not about to be hoarding it and holding, I'm posting everything, and it's like, I was just trying to get niggas as much opportunities as they can. Like, yo, get in this room, bro. Why? Get in this room, bro. Like, it's niggas in this room you need to be around with the shit that you're doing. And I started seeing how they was working, and it's like they'll watch the niggas that be around me and the people I do events with, and they'll wait until like niggas is on or niggas finally get a buzz to try to fuck with them. When I was like, even with Zillions, like I used to tell a lot of niggas like, yo, Zillions is a good DJ. I'm like, you feel me? He an upcoming DJ, he young, he would fit this event. And they're just like, nah, and they'll go and book the same DJ they've been booking
for years,
over and over
that's
on some clout shit. On some clout shit, because that's all they know.
They don't want to test the waters and try new shit and break people. Like that's the main thing. People are too scared to like break new artists or break new talent.
Open themselves up to something new.
Like niggas don't even know, bro. I got half, like not even half, like 75% of the city is in my DMs. Yo, bro, I'm trying to do a show. Yo, bro, I'm trying to do this. Yo, bro, I'm trying to do that.
Ring bells.
And it's like, yeah, that's what. And it's like, my name don't ring bells on some scene shit. It's like, you could go to any borough in the Bronx and ask somebody who I am. 7 times out of 10, they gonna know who I am.
Right.
Whether you say DickByAir or if you say Laval.
Right.
Because a lot of niggas uptown, they know me as Laval because I went to school in the city.
Okay.
But like in the hood, niggas know me as Laval. You say DickByAir, niggas will look at you like, Laval? Like,
yeah.
Because it's like they know me.
Right.
You feel me? And like I be trying to tell niggas, I'm like, bro, I'm like, I've lived in this city my entire life. I'm like, a lot of y'all not from here. And it's like, they try to act like they are from here. And I respect a lot of people that be on some like, yeah, I'm from such and such. I just came out here to do my shit. I'm like, bet. Right. But then there's other people that's like, yeah, I'm from the city. I'm like, where you live? And they like, where you from? Oh, I live in Bushwick. Nah, where are you from? I'm not asking you where you live right now. Right. Like, I want to know where you from. And they just come here and just get all messy and fuck shit up. Like I be wanting to do shit. Like, a lot of people, like, Sienna was putting me on the sex dolls for, what, 3 years now? Like, 3.5 years now. And it's like, I've been wanting to do a show, but it's like, if you really pay attention to me, my name on all these flyers, but none of these parties is mine.
I noticed that.
None of these parties is mine.
I noticed that.
Like, niggas don't know what I go through when it comes to, I get to a venue, and I'm like, yo, I want to do a party. And my man's like, yeah, they be letting me use the spot for like $500. I'm like, bet. I'm like, give me their email, let me hit them up. They see my name, $1,500. I'm like, nigga, what? I'm like, you just told my man's $500.
That's crazy.
I'm like, this spot not even worth $1,500.
That's crazy.
But it's because they know, it's like, they try to play me like, oh, this some nigga from the Ville. He's some little dirty nigga. He don't know nothing.
Right.
But it's like, I'm smart. I'm not stupid.
Right.
And that's why I barely do events, bro. Like, this year, like, everybody was like, oh, you do the latest events. I'm like, bro, I do 2 parties. 2. I did the shit in the park for free, and I spent like almost 4 stacks to make that shit happen.
That's dedication.
And that's not even. I took 2 stacks out of my own pocket, and then everybody on the gram, all they donations was like 2 stacks more, because I had to keep changing the date, because it kept raining and shit. So like, it came up to like almost $4,000, bro. I bought mad water, brand new grill, like all of that shit, because it's just like, it's the people. You feel me? Like, without an audience, none of us would be doing anything. This podcast would not be possible without an audience.
Right.
Being a musician is not possible without an audience. Having parties, nothing you do as an entertainer or in this industry you work in, it does not work if you don't have an audience. And
you
niggas
gotta have somebody that enjoys what the fuck is going on. Like,
and a lot of niggas, they don't enjoy it. They just enjoy making money. And it's like, that shit is not it to me. Like,
so what about this shit that makes you, like, what drives you to, like, want to throw the best parties or like host whatever, like, you know what I'm saying, just or DJ the best, whatever.
It be to be honest, it be going to other people's events and I be bored. Like, I go to a lot of
wall hugging.
Yeah, I go to a lot. Not even just wall hugging. It really be the niggas that throw the event. Like, they just don't have no personality. Like, you pull up and you thinking they promoting it like, yeah, this shit about to be lit, and you get there and they at a table with their mans drinking, not talking to nobody that's there. Not in the crowd, fucking with nobody, not turning up.
Too cool for shit like that nowadays.
And niggas don't even be cool, niggas be broke.
Facts.
Like, if I'm broke, there's a lot of niggas on the scene, I be looking at myself, I'm like, listen, man, if I'm broke, I know y'all broke, because you feel me? Like, if I'm broke, I know y'all broke, because we all doing the same thing. And I'm not even saying broke on some like niggas don't got no bread. I'm talking about broke on some like, all right, cool, like, we kind of at risk right now outside spending money. You feel me? Like,
Like,
it's like we shouldn't even be outside right now, but we doing this because we don't want to be in the crib.
Right. We know the risk behind this.
But I just be bored, and like I be wanting to give people like experiences. Like, when I was throwing parties, like when I was doing Shutdown Boys with Sponge, Jasani, and my homie Teddy, we was just on some. Me and Sponge, we met. I went to a party he did. I hopped on the mic with him, and the shit got shut down. Then I told him, I was like, yo, bro, we should throw a party together. He was like, yo, we need a spot. I'm like, my cousin got a crib in the Ville. I'm like, are you open to coming to the Ville and, doing a party? I'm like, it's the hood.
That's a little mixy.
Like I'm deep in, like, where I was living in the Ville, bro, is like literally down the block from Garvey. So it's like.
That's mixy.
Yeah, like.
That's mixy.
Like, you feel me? So, huh?
In between Saratoga and Rockaway?
I lived on Thomas Boylan a lot, bro.
I went to PSIS 164.
Dead ass?
Since what, first grade?
Nah, that's wicked.
Yeah.
Bro, that shit, we used to chill, bro. I threw a party down the block from my crib in my man's basement. His parents Caribbean and shit, they DJ and whatnot. So they had all the equipment, all the speakers. They had a basement in the backyard. I'm like, yo, fuck it. At the time, it was the Straight Outta Compton movie came out. You know how niggas was making the memes and shit. I took that shit, made a fly out of it, straight out of the bando. Because I'm just like, because the spot look like a bando. You feel me? Like, niggas be going there to smoke weed and shit and chilling and whatnot. So we bring niggas there. That was the first party me and him ever threw. And the shit got shut down because some nigga was drunk. He was doing some shit to a shorty and my brother rocked him. Like, you feel me? Like, all, like, because, like, mad at my family, they all, like, not necessarily, like, my family, but a lot of people I've been around in the Ville, they all Crip. So they all in the spot. It's like 12 Crip niggas in the party. Not being Crip, you feel me? Because they in there had like Lavato on the party in the Ville. We chilling today.
Yeah, right.
But it's like this one nigga just being weird, so they just like, yo, bro, what's good with him? This your mans? I'm like, not really. They like, all right, cool.
Say that.
Nigga bumped the shorty. They saw him, rocked him one time, knocked him out. Party got shut down. My son, it was this nigga at the time. His name was Bill, Indigo Mason Bill. I don't know if anybody remember him. Facts. My son Bill sat in the back with us. He looked at me and Sponge and was like, yo, y'all need to call yourselves a name. He was like, y'all should call yourselves Shutdown Boys. And it was me and Sponge. I'm like, I'm jacking it. Sponge looked at me, he's like, yo, I'm jacking it. Every party we threw after that, shut down, back to back to back to back to back. Like, and all we wanted to do was just give real experiences. We didn't want to overcharge. Like, niggas used to tell us, like, yo, 20 cash. I'm like, nah, bro, $5.
Right.
$5, bro. I'm like, the average.
Nobody's going to a $20 party.
No cap.
$20? That's a lot.
If I'm paying 20, I'm paying 20 at the door because I ain't get tickets from early. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
if that.
And it's like, I'm only paying 20 if the shit sold out and they got tickets at the door.
Right.
I'm not paying $20 off rip. That's wicked.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, if it's no food, there and I'm paying 20 cash.
Nothing that comes with it, like,
Like, come on. Like, I don't know. But I just had to switch it up, and like niggas bought me, bro. Like I go outside even now. Like I went outside. I moved. I live in Syracuse now. So for a year, I've been in Syracuse now. Like literally last week made an exact year I've been living in Syracuse.
You like it up there?
And it's calm. I like it. I be with my shorty. I got 2 cats.
Oh, you
feel me?
That's the way.
Rent dumb cheap.
Right.
Like I don't got to worry about rent. And
that's fire.
Like just coming back to the city though in the summer, I'm moving around and shit because it's like I'm telling my show, I'm like, yo, I need to be in the city. Like I can't be up here. You feel me? Like I need to be like knowing who I am. I'm like, you know, like I'm fucking with like Virgil now, like and shit like that. So I'm looking at, I'm like, I kind of need to be outside and see what's going on. I need to see like who doing shit now. And I come out and a lot of niggas was boring me, bro. And it's like all summer it was y'all between the Sex Dolls, Surf Gang, fucking zillions DJing every party.
There was always something going on.
It was always something going on, but the difference between it was, so like my mix, like my scene or whatever, the scene that I'm in is like, you know, it's more so like DC, LA, Atlanta. And to be honest, bro, like I don't need to say no names, but niggas be on some fake weird shit. You feel me? Like niggas only want to come outside or only want to involve you in shit when it's beneficial towards them. You feel me? It's like I could go to 1 million of y'all events, but I never see y'all at my shit. Right. And when I do see y'all at my shit, it's only because y'all asking me to get in for free.
Then it's like, where the fuck is the support?
Where's the support at? You feel me? And it's like it's a lot of people. It's like now I'm at that point now. It's like I be hitting niggas up. I'm like, yo, like y'all valid at my shit, cause it's like y'all been coming. It's like once I see you consistently come in certain events, especially if it's mine, I make a guest list, bro. I tell niggas all the time, like, yo, bro, I'm like, the shit gonna sell out, but I need at least 50 on the guest list. Right. They like, yo, that's too much. I'm like, nah, it's not too much. I'm like, I already know mad people gonna pull up on some, yo, I'm LeVar Mans, I'm valid. I'm like, to alleviate that, no guest list publicly, but I'm hitting niggas up, and you feel me? I'm grabbing their names or putting their names down, and they'll hit me up. I see them outside, yo, bro, I'm valid. Bro, I already put you on the list, you Gucci. Right. Like, y'all are valid.
That's love.
You feel me? Because it's like, I don't need no special guests. Like, I gotta have a special guest. I just sold my party out this week with 2 names on the flyer.
That's strong.
You feel me?
Not a lot of niggas
and I told both the DJs, I said, I don't need y'all to promote it. Just to prove a point.
Right.
Just to prove a point. I'm like, I don't need it. You feel me? I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm like, I just want to make sure y'all get paid. Right. That's my whole thing. And it's like, niggas just be on some weird shit, bro. Like, and I went out this summer and I saw what was going on, and I thought about it. I'm like, I turned 27 this year. I'm like, in 2 years, I'm about to be 30. I'm not trying to throw parties for the rest of my life. I'm trying to, what's next? The niggas that was my age when I was, you know, y'all age, niggas wasn't handing us no torches. Niggas wasn't trying to put niggas on.
Y'all had to fight for that.
Like, we had to really, like we really had to fight for that shit, bro. Like, it was on some, like, I had to start talking my shit on the gram. Like, yo, niggas not jacking me. Fuck that. I'm about to do my own shit. And niggas started panicking and shit. Right. I said it in July, bro. I warned niggas. I said, yo, I'm throwing a Halloween party for the 2 months, bro. Yo, bro, what day you throwing your party? What day? I'm doing some shit on the 30th. I don't want it to clash. I'm telling niggas, I'm like, bro, we do not have the same audience. Why y'all worried about what I'm doing? Right. I'm not asking y'all shit. I'm not in y'all DMs trying to figure out what you got going on. None of everybody in my DMs, bro. Like, I could open my DMs and show you, like, I've been screenshotting.
I believe it.
I've been screenshotting everything just to have receipts, like.
So niggas don't forget.
I don't forget nothing. Like, I might come outside and be cordial on some yo was good, but it's like, I remember all that shit, bro. Like, it's a lot of people right now, like niggas will try to figure out what I'm doing and then will run and try to do it. And then it's like, they'll do it thinking they one up me, not realizing it's like, if y'all could do that, that means it was never meant for me to do it in the first place. Right. You feel me? So it's like, I feel that. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, I don't like this shit right now, but what I do like is that the niggas that's like younger than me, and I don't even like saying younger because niggas is 21 and shit, you feel me? Like, niggas are adults. Right. Like, we can put it right there. Niggas getting their own money, they not asking their parents for shit. Niggas is outside getting to it by themselves. Right. And it's like, what I noticed with the generation coming up now, all y'all niggas actually support each other, bro.
Yeah, we try, like, bro, because we know what it feel like.
You feel me? Like,
that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, that's what I would think. Like, because New York is a weird place. Like, nobody really want to help each other all the time. Yeah. So we trying to break that narrative. Like, nah, we fuck with some. We fuck with boys. We want.
You feel me? Like,
mad talents in there.
Yeah, like, we see what the fuck going on, and I know you see what the fuck going on. Like,
and that's why I just be moving accordingly. Because, like, I'm looking at it now. It's like people put me in that position. It's like niggas is comparing me. Like, I hate saying. I don't even like saying it, but like, it's what people been saying. People been trying to compare me to like Yams and shit. and like Ian Connor.
I know, but you gotta understand what they did for the culture,
no cap,
and what you're doing for the culture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's just that you should be like. Not saying you should be, but you feel me? Like, that's an honor to be under them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you're the generation right under them. Like, to pass down the torch to us. And that's why we fuck with you and we appreciate you so much. And we want to give you your flowers while we can. You know what I'm saying? Because you that help niggas out. Even when we do our show that didn't go, according to plan.
You talking about the Korean spot?
No, fucking what Korean spot? No, the U-Haul situation.
Oh,
Yeah, it wasn't too smooth. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga, that shit still happened.
Yeah,
Fuck
it was
me.
still fire. Like, and we appreciate you for like coming through and helping set up the turntables and all that and the speakers and shit like that. Like, cause you realize did not have to do that. So that alone just, you know what I'm saying, that did something for us. And like,
nah, bro, I be telling niggas all the time, bro. I'm like, if y'all need something, just hit me. Like, if I got the time, I'm there to do it. If I don't got the time, then you feel me, it's shaky. But it's like if you fuck with me, especially if you see me showing you love, if it does not hurt, just hit me. Like, I tell people all the time, I'm like, as long as you're not hitting me on some like every day, like, yo, bro, I need this, yo, bro, I need that. It's like, you feel me? But it's like when niggas need something, it's like even Clip had hit me and she was like, niggas had me like, yo, Clip trying to do a party or whatever, or a show. But it's like ain't no venues to fit. You feel me? Like the shit y'all trying to do.
Right now.
Cause it's like 21 plus, y'all could do it. But it's like y'all audience is literally like 19, 18, kids, 20. You feel me? So it's like I've been running around, like niggas don't even know, like I'm running around trying to find venues so that niggas like y'all could actually do real events.
Yeah, we deadass appreciate that because like nobody ever gave us that like that leverage. You get what I'm saying? So it's like
and it's like I be trying, like I literally be trying, and like people don't notice it. I'm like, bro, everybody's booking me for their events. I don't have time to do my own events because it's like I don't want to throw a party in a spot niggas been to before a million times.
Right.
I'm not
that kills the
that
whole
repetitive. It kills the mood. Like,
you want something new.
Being in a new fresh spot. You feel me? Like it feel good.
It's
like
a different energy.
Niggas been to Babies all right before. Like my shit tomorrow is at Babies all right, but it's like I've never thrown a party at Babies all right, or I've never brought
it's
my audience there. So it's about to be a whole different experience, and I got the whole spot. It's not like I just got the room; I got the whole space.
That's strong.
You feel me? So it's like I got free range to do like a lot of shit that I want to do, and it's like after this, it's like I got a couple other spots that I'm looking at right now, but I'm just waiting on meetings, waiting to get how much it costs and all of that shit, and like I'm trying to just put shit together and just get niggas paid, bro. Like I was telling Zillions the other day, I'm like, you got it, bro. Like, you feel me? Like, right now, in my opinion, you are my favorite DJ. And it's like, one of the reasons why is not just because of how he spins, but he takes his time out to actually want to spin niggas' music. Like, if he fuck with your shit and you coming out, you being cordial, you not being weird, he'll play your shit, bro. Like, he gonna show love. And it's like, there's a lot of DJs that don't do that shit on the scene.
They too scared to try experiment with shit.
They don't want to dabble and shit because they know what people are listening to. Like.
Right.
They rather focus on the masses, and it's like, nigga, you don't even know. It's like focusing on your own shit. You gonna build an audience way stronger than what mainstream got going on right now.
Because when you trying to be that too predictive shit, like what the crowd gonna react to, that's. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of lame.
It's like, I'd rather play some shit that's going to have niggas like, yo, what's this?
Right. And they really listening. They stop their conversation.
They stop their convo like, wait, hold on. This shit sounds like hard. Like,
that changed the whole, that changed the whole atmosphere of the party. Like, you could feel everybody like, everybody get turned up. Like,
that's why I kind of been forcing, like, the whole, like, because my favorite genre is, like, French house. You feel me?
That's
like,
cool.
People don't even realize, like, like, music like that, like, black people, that's kind of how we was expressing ourselves. You feel me? Like, we had hip hop and all of that, but like when it came to like clubbing and partying, like the LGBTQ community when they was coming up, like
the go-go's,
the ballroom shows, like all of that shit kind of birthed the kind of parties we trying to throw. You feel me? And then you got like the niggas in the Bronx when they started they shit. I think it was Jam Master Jay, Grandmaster Flash, and whatnot. That started like house parties in New York City and all of that stuff. But it's like house was the birth. In my opinion, you feel me? Was the birth of us finally being free at events, and it's like even now when I play that shit, it's like, bro, it's like we supposed to dance.
Right.
You feel me?
A lot
Like
of niggas be too cool.
Parties be about dancing. It's like niggas that play
And
Drake
niggas just be
and
standing there.
you play Drake and niggas is like, yo, I can't mosh to this, and it's like, nigga, you trying to punch niggas in their face for 4 hours, bro? Like it's mad girls in here.
It's like, yo, wine pond something.
Like, nigga, I was just about to say, when was the last time you went to a party where niggas was actually like catching a wine on the gal? Like,
it's been a minute. I ain't gonna hold you.
Like it's been a good 4 or 5 years, bro. I've been to a solid party where, and it's like you can't even do that no more because it's like certain niggas be so aggressive with shorties. It's like it just ruins it.
Like,
It's like niggas don't know how to dance with a shorty without, you feel me? They schmeef getting hard, being weird and shit. Like
gangster though. Like,
so it's like that whole era got fucked. You feel me? So it's like now you gotta be that nigga. You feel me? Like you gotta be one of them niggas.
Right.
Like, yo, I'm trying to get a dance, and shorty looking like, oh yeah, this nigga lit. I'm about to dance with this nigga. But if you
have chains on,
you feel me? You gotta have
chains.
They want chains.
You gotta have Ricks and Amiris on,
right?
To catch a wine.
The Ricks is definitely you need that.
You feel me?
The Ricks is essential now.
You need the new streetwear underground and shit.
Yeah. I don't know.
How did you and Virgil hook up? Like, how did that happen?
So I used to, when I was like running around on the street and shit, I used to finesse Fashion Week all the time. And
how did you do that?
I was a big, I'm gonna get into that. So I was a big Kanye fan, and
Aren't we all?
you know, I did my research. You know, like Kanye and Cudi is my 2 favorite artists. And my favorite like rappers is like Big Sean, Earl. So it's like I grew up on, you know, TDE, ASAP Mob, Good Music, Odd Future, Dreamville. Like that's the music
like 2012.
That was the shit I grew up on. You feel me? And I learned, you know, who Virgil was and whatnot. I learned who Heron Preston was and shit. And me and Heron ended up, like, it was one day I went to a party and whatnot. I just was showing my face as much as I could, you know? And it kind of started to me, in my opinion, I met Dr. Genius. So I met Dr. Genius at this show my homie was performing at. And, you know, we chopped it up, whatever, followed each other on the gram. We was just in the studio for a little bit, chilling and shit. And then 2 years later, I did my bike trip. I had rode a bike or whatever. I was trying to ride a bike to Cali on some depression shit. I'm like, shit not it in the city right now. I'm like, I don't got no bread. I'm like, fuck, I might just get on the bike and dip.
All the way from New York?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's strong.
So I stopped in each state going down. And when I got to Florida, because my thing, I never went to Art Basel. So I'm like, I'm going to stop at Art Basel. And I'm like, I wanted to, you know, kind of sightsee through America. So I wanted to go through the South after Florida. So I get to Florida, and the first crib I stayed at Trunks in them crib. Kid Trunks.
Right.
So, and that was the night I met Ski Mask.
Oh, that's cool.
Because my homie Young Neil, he was like fucking with, like, those was all his mans already. So when they found out I was riding a bike and shit, they was in the city fucking with us. So they was like, yo, nigga, Trunks is like, yo, when you get to Miami, you know, let me know when you here. Like, you come crash with us for the night and shit. I'm like, bet.
That's fire.
So I pulled up. I had met Ski and them and whatnot. Stayed with them for the night. And then the next night I went and I stayed with the nigga, my son, always forget my son Josh. He had a brand or whatever, Conservoir. We was like fucking with him in New York, and we was like putting him on, like trying to get mad niggas in his shit, helping him out and whatnot. And when I went to Miami, he's like, you valid with me? And Dot had a party. They randomly, the second day I was in Florida, Dot and Cudi was throwing a party for Passion, Pain, and Demon Slaying. So I'm like, oh, it's lit. I'm like, I just got here, nigga, Cudi throwing a party. I'm like, bet it's lit. So tickets sold out. I'm like, fuck. So I'm like, do I hit Dot? I hit Dot. I'm like, yo, bro, like, are they gonna be tickets at the door? Like, you feel me? Like, I wanna buy a ticket, but it's saying it's sold out. Nigga Dot like, yo, where you at? I'm like, I'm in Miami. He's like, pull up. I'm like, what?
That right there?
I'm like, I'm with a couple people. He said, oh, I thought you came down by yourself. I said, nah, I'm with my mans that I'm staying with and the nigga that's driving. He like, I bet y'all good. Just pull up. I'm like, bet. So we get there, we get inside, we chilling, we on stage or whatever. And this is the first night that I'm actually like side by side with Virgil. He might not remember it, but I remember it because I had my camera and shit. And I remember Cudi walked through the party. Nigga walked through the party, through the GA. He ain't even come in through VIP. Nigga came in through GA and brought the crowd with him to the stage and shit. And Virgil had carried him up on the stage and whatnot. And everybody was chilling and shit. And then I remember that same night, I was on the speaker. Nigga Travis Scott pushed some white shorty off the speaker that I was standing on and like stood next to me. Nigga had his arm around. Nigga was crying, singing cut. Cause you gotta think about it. This was Cuddy after the rehab. You feel me?
Right.
So it's like we getting Cuddy on some like happy shit tonight.
Right.
So after that,
that changed your whole spirit. Like,
yeah, that changed that whole. And then it's like the day after that, my best friend died in the city on some like I'm about to go to 40-ounce bounce and niggas call me like, yo, LaVar, Ian died. Like it was a nigga I met. His name is Ian. He had the same last name as me. We met in Soho on the corner of Prince and Broadway. My man's just like, yo, this your brother. I'm like, why you? Like y'all both got the same last name. I'm like, what's your name? Like Ian McDonald. I'm like, you lying. We backed our IDs out. Was best friends ever since, bro. And it's like he died. And to this day, we don't know how he died. They just found his body on the side of a highway. So I'm just like, that shit fucked me up. So when I left and came back to the city, my son Versus, this when I started staying in my son Versus crib. And me and him was just chilling. We was just getting to it. You feel me? He bringing me outside around like a lot of the corporate shit and getting me booked for like a whole bunch of different events and stuff. We just going out working. And me and Heron Preston started connecting. And I had threw a fashion week party for him at Milk. So that was like my first big shit. Yeah, Milk Studios. So like that was like my first official fashion week parties with Heron Preston. And it got shut down. A nigga was being weird. He ended up getting cracked with a bottle. Niggas broke a bottle over his head. Like some girl got punched in the face by mistake because niggas. Yeah, it was a lot that happened. I was tight.
Going on.
Yeah, I was tight. I was pissed. But I'm past it. And then I don't know, out of nowhere, you feel me? Like Virgil and Heron had followed me around the same time, so the protests and shit started happening. Later on in life, I was
outside,
and Virgil had made a tweet. He was like, not a tweet. He made a post on the gram. He was tight because niggas had
about the Louis shit, right?
Nah, not even the Louis shit. Nigga was tight about round 2.
What?
Niggas had looted round 2 in L.A. And you gotta remember that's Sean Witherspoon's store. You feel me? They looted that, and then they tried to loot. And then Don C was on Instagram like, yeah, like I'm gonna be at my store with a shotgun and this, that, and the third. And then Virgil made a post like, yo, like he was kind of upset about it.
Right.
So I hit him in the DMs and I started blacking because I'm just in my head. I'm like, bro, y'all all the niggas I look up to, y'all should already know why these niggas is doing this in the first place.
Like,
you feel me?
Right.
And I told him we had like a real deep conversation. Like we was arguing probably like, not even arguing, we was having a discussion, a debate all day. Like for a good like 12 hours back to back. Like messages, like, little pauses in between, but like we just chopping it up. And, we was getting a lot of points across. You feel me? This was like my first time having like a real convo with a nigga that's at a way higher plateau than I am. You feel me? And I told him, I said, bro, I'm like, you taught these niggas this shit. You, Kanye, Travis, Ian, Glenn Brown. I'm like, you calling this shit a community, but I'm like, it was a community for y'all.
Right.
You feel me? I'm like, all of us, the kids and the youth that y'all so-called say y'all was doing it for, we didn't feel like y'all was doing it.
We didn't
feel like y'all was doing it for y'all. We didn't feel that shit, bro. I'm like, these niggas is outside. I'm like, bro, you gotta remember, I'm like, there's kids outside, they don't got no bread. They trying to chase their dreams. What they know right now, all they know is that if they go to round 2 or whatever store and zoe some shit, they could flip that shit and make some breach.
It really changed their life.
Really changed their life.
Really changed their
life. And I'm
life.
breaking that shit down to him, and at first he couldn't understand it. Because you gotta remember, he came from the era of like, nah, we don't do this to each other and this, that, and the third. Right. But I'm like, bro, I told him like, yo, you on the other side now. You haven't been over here in a minute.
Right.
And it's like, in my opinion, I feel like I'm that last nigga right now. That's like the last of a dying breed on some. I'm one of the last older niggas that really got to hold it down for like the generation behind me. And I'm telling them, I'm like, bro, when niggas was looting in the 70s, 50s or whatever, niggas was stealing fridges and shit. Niggas was not worrying about clothes, bro.
They needed shit.
Niggas, the hood was worrying about, yo, we need studio equipment. I need amps for my car. Stupid shit, bro. Food for the crib, new fridge, new stove, washing machine. This year, what niggas did? Niggas went to Louis, Balenci, Fendi, all the round 2 and reseller stores. Why? Because they know it's money in that shit. And I'm like, I told him, I said, bro, y'all don't even got no control over this shit no more. I'm like, it went from us reselling shit to each other to round 2 reselling shit to niggas to StockX taking that shit from all of y'all, nigga.
Nah, that.
Yeah. And I'm like, y'all don't even own this shit no more. I'm like, StockX running this shit now.
Right.
And we just started going off. And then he hit a point to me. He was like, yo, he was like, bro, like I made a book. He was like, I wrote a book, which is like literally a map of start to finish of how I did all of this shit. But kids don't take time to read. And that shit pissed me
I get what he means.
But yeah, after a while, like I wanted to blast the nigga on the gram. I'm like, kids don't take it on the read. I'm like, how could you say some shit like that? Because I'm mad. But then my shorty, she's like, yo, calm down. She's like, let him make a post. You feel me? Let him say it how he want to say it. So he made a post the next day because niggas was getting on him about the protest shit. And then right after it was the $50 shit.
Oh yeah.
So it was just like niggas was just giving him niggas was just giving him hell, bro, for like that whole week. And then I'm telling niggas, I'm like the $50 shit not even that serious. I was like, I'm more mad about the protesting shit. So I let him talk. I let him say what he said. Niggas backfired on him. They wasn't jacking it. He hit me up. He was like, yo, I see things differently now. Like, take my number. Let's connect. Like, what can we do to kind of like, you know, change the future? And it's like, niggas don't even know, bro. Like, I be in his DMs, bro. Like, whenever, like, I've told him about the sex dolls. I've told him about Talia. Like, all of these people that be around in the city, I tell him and I let him know, like, yo, this is who's buzzing right now.
We appreciate
you feel me? Like, I'm telling him, like, yo, this is what's going on right now in the city. You feel me? Like, and it's like, this is the first time I ever even told anybody that I'm saying it. So it's like, if y'all niggas listening, it's like, I'm really out here trying to put niggas on. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I already know he can't do much, but it's like, if I do a collab with him, it's like, I know who I want to shoot in this shit already.
Right.
I don't need a model. I know who I want to shoot in this shit already. Like, me and him got some shit that he had pitched the idea to me, and I thought about, I ain't gonna say it on here, but it's some shit, like, it's about to be mad niggas involved in it. Like, I'm about to have, like, a huge, like, event for it and whatnot. Because it's just, like, I don't know, like, I've done enough. You feel me? Like, I'm trying to be in the position now where it's, like, I'm in the office, and I'm just helping. I'm really helping people.
Right.
Like, I don't need to be, like, I'm gonna make money regardless. Like, niggas don't even know I got a regular job in Syracuse. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't need to be in the city getting booked to DJ or throwing parties every week to make money.
You do that shit because
I do that shit because I love it. Right. And I like putting niggas on. It's like, I know if I throw a party, like Bodega Party is an upcoming DJ. I put her on the shit. She playing, she goes on at midnight. And like my homegirl last night was telling me, she was like, yo, I'm nervous. Like LaVar's mad serious. I'm like, nah. I'm like, you know, like you caught me on an off day because we had came here and we was B2Bing and shit. Mm-hmm. And she was just like, yo, LaVar's mad serious to my mans. And she's just like, nah, LaVar's Gucci. Like, he just been exhausted lately. You know, he doing a lot of shit, but like he Gucci. And she's just like excited because it's like, in her eyes, this like one of the biggest shit she ever done. Is like, when I put niggas on my events, niggas be like, yo, good looks, bro. And I just be in my head, I'm like, to see people that happy to just be a part of some shit that I'm doing, it make me feel good because it's like, that's all I want niggas to feel, bro. When I was younger and I was outside sleeping on trains, like niggas didn't even know. I was going to parties, turning up, leaving the party, niggas like, yo, you going home? Yeah, I'm going on the train.
Right.
Knocked on the train, riding that shit back and forth, bro. Yeah. Riding that shit back and forth. Like, wake up in the next morning, go to Apple, I got invoices to do. Job applications. Or I don't got a phone, this how I'm linking niggas. I'm on Twitter. Yo, where you at? I am at the police to your crib right now. I don't got my phone, so leave the door open for me.
Right. That's like, dedication,
you feel me?
That's
like,
dedication, like.
And I was at it every day. Like, it was to the point, like, my mans, like, I used to try to get my mans to come outside. Like, when Fashion Week came around, I used to tell niggas, like, yo, bro, I'm going outside. I'm like, I'm leaving the crib at 2. Right. And my man's like, yo, you can wait for me. I'm like, I'm not waiting for you. I'm like, if you're not dressed by 2 o'clock, bro, I'm out. Like, that was my time. And it's to the point where, like, my mans already know. Fashion Week come around, they like, yo, Var, I'm not even going to hit you up, bro. Do what you got to do. Right. Because it's like, they know I'm not going outside to just turn up. You feel me? Like, yeah, I did that shit to bring attention to me, but I finessed it to bring attention to me so I could start doing what I really want to do and show niggas, like, yo, this is what I'm doing over here. Right. Like, even with, like, no negativity, like, that shit was a Facebook page. Like, that shit wasn't even nothing official. Like, I had a page on Facebook. I put, like, 300 niggas in it and ended up being, like, 800 people after a while. And, you know, it's Facebook, so it got mixy. Certain niggas had power issues. Yeah. They felt like niggas was dick riding me. Right. Like, oh, niggas only do shit when LaVar said. I'm like, no. I'm like, y'all just not genuine, bro. Right. Like, I'm like, niggas is in here connecting and going to each other's shit. I'm like, y'all just mad because niggas in here not fucking with y'all. Like, y'all ain't coming in here with the right energy. Right. And, you know, niggas fucked it up. They started making other group chats, talking shit about each other in group chats and shit. So I left that shit alone. And then during the protest and shit, I'm like, niggas is making GoFundMes for fucking gender reveals and to get transitions. Niggas is doing GoFundMes because they like, yo, I don't want to pay my rent. Right. Like, the rent is strong. And the first thing I said in my head, I'm like, with all this shit going on, why nobody starting no shit to get shit we need? Like, a space. Like, niggas complain about venues. Niggas, somebody could have made a GoFundMe to get a venue.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Like,
people don't be thinking about that shit though, or it be they pride.
They just be thinking
So it's
about their
like-
immediate, what they need,
Right.
and shit, like what they want and desire.
it's like Photo Dom. When I saw him do that shit with his GoFundMe, I was like, this is what niggas need to be doing. So I was like, I'm about to just start a GoFundMe and try to raise some money to get a center, get a spot. Cause like my dream, like my main thing, cause like I started off doing like video and photo and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'll go to a party with a GoPro, just record everything. Like I got years of footage that I have not released because I'm like putting together like a documentary on my life. And I'm showing everybody that was a part of my shit. Like,
Right.
like I got mad people. It's to the point I don't even think it could be a movie. It got to be a series because it's like it's mad. It's so many people I was fucking with, bro. I'm like,
You and your Soulja Boy shit.
you feel me? Like,
That's fire.
and it's like
That's fire.
I was telling niggas, I'm like, you know, once I do that, I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe I could just settle down, get a spot, cause it's like each floor got something to do. Cause like I ain't graduate high school, like from high school. I went to YABC.
Okay.
So I was doing the night school shit. You feel me? Cause like my pops didn't want to transfer me out my school and whatnot. So like for like 6 months, I wasn't even going to school. I was just going to work. And then I did YABC because I didn't want to go to get my GED. I didn't want to be a GED ass nigga.
Right.
I'm like, I want my diploma. I'm like, how can I get my diploma? And then my mans put me on the YABC. So I did that, graduated, got my diploma. And I remember I had went to my pops. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to go to college. He's like, nah. I'm like, what?
That's strong.
Mind you, I'm not in his crib. He's like, no, it's either you go to the army or you don't come back. I'm like, I told my
that's
pops,
crazy.
I told my pops to his face, I said, suck my dick. And then my man was like, yo, Lil LaVar, you wild? I'm like, nah, I'm not wild. My nigga, I said, I'm trying to go to college, bro.
Right.
I'm like,
Not a
you
lot
feel
of
me?
niggas want to do
I'm like,
that.
everybody else in my family is getting locked up for stupid shit. I'm like, I'm the only nigga in our family, bro, trying to do shit the right way. And I'm trying to go to school and you telling me no, bro.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck you. I said, suck my dick. I dipped. Like, I ain't
That'll discourage a kid from a lot
that
of
shit had me fucked up, bro. Like, I was doing Zans around that time.
Oh, man.
I was doing Zans. I was drinking lean. I was getting drunk every night. Niggas would go to Whole Foods, steal beer and shit. And then I just dawned on that idea. I'm like, yo, I need a building, bro. Like, I need a spot, like, shit like this.
Mm-hmm.
Where niggas could just come affordably to do what they need to do. You feel me?
Right.
Because niggas be taxing, bro. Like, yo, I need a photo studio. Yo, $100 an hour. And if you need equipment, it's going to be
200
on top of that plus a deposit. And it's
Right.
like, niggas don't be having that much bread, bro. Like, we not corporate. Hold the youngins down, bro. Like,
Right.
so like my goal with No Nag is to have a building. I want to have like audio engineering. I'm gonna have like production assistants, like people, like let's say you want to record some shit, but you don't got an engineer. I'll have an engineer in there on deck. You feel me?
Right.
And it's not just him mixing your music. He gonna be showing you how to do this shit while he doing it. So that way, like as time go by, you might not even need to come back here.
Right.
You feel
That's
me?
fire.
Like, I'm
So
trying to have
you
a photo studio,
like
like
a whole production studio.
Mhm.
That's fire.
So it's gonna be
You're
photo.
basically
It's gonna be a
building
space.
artists,
It's
right?
gonna be a space for events for artists to do like no parties, like only showcases or art shows. Like
I like
it's like I just want to have a space for niggas, you know, to do what they want to do.
Like on your Tyler Perry shit.
Okay.
No, that's fire.
Like you got Tyler Perry Studios and everybody going to him now.
That's hard, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
Studios, I heard
DickByAir
that.
Studios.
And it's like I
hard.
want it to be called No Negativity because it's like I want niggas to just come there on some like, yo, we come in here to work, we come in here to
peace,
connect.
no
Like you could be working on some shit in one room, you go in another room, and it's like, yo, my session in here too. I'm gonna come fuck with y'all. It's like, I bet.
Right.
Like I want shit to be like that.
That's
and
how
it's-
you build. Like that's
yeah,
how you really get
relationships are
shit
created
going.
based
Like,
off of
Cause
that.
I told niggas like I've been quiet. I stopped talking as much as I did. Like I'm about to start talking more because it's like I'm seeing a lot of rah rah and a lot of people thinking like, yeah, we doing this and doing that, and it's like I know the facts behind a lot of shit.
right.
So it's just like I've been quiet because like I already know what I'm about to do. It's like it's bigger than what a lot of niggas is trying to say they trying to do. You feel
Right.
me? And I'm not even speaking as like artists and shit like that. I'm talking about like niggas on the scene that be trying to like, oh, we don't fuck with LeVar and blah blah blah. It's like niggas will be on the internet like, oh, LeVar's homophobic or he doesn't like women, black women. But when I'm
That's so
outside,
strong. That's
but when
so
I'm
strong.
outside, but when I'm outside is, oh, we need to do stuff together. We need to throw parties. We should be a DJ duo. Like
Right.
niggas want to throw events with me every week, and it's just like, nah, I'm good. Like I start saying no, and now everybody treating me like public enemy number one, and it's like I've thrown parties with everybody on the scene. I've done a party with everybody already. Everyone. It's not one person in the city that's allegedly known that I have not done a party with. I don't need to do parties with niggas no more. I need to do my own shit and put niggas on. You know how much times I done I'm not even gonna say no names because I'm not really trying to, or maybe I should be mixy. You feel me? Like
Low key.
you feel me?
At this point, man, you can do whatever the fuck you
like,
feel like doing.
I'll never
really
forget.
in New York.
Boom.
Bro, like, man, I ain't gonna hold you. You run New York for a minute.
Yeah, he's about to speak his truth. And
Like I ain't gonna front. There's been times where I've sat down with like Deli. I remember one day I was in V-Files. It was me, Deli, Haas, my son Najee, Stash, and like 2 other niggas. And I looked at niggas and I was like, yo, we should all put up some bread and just throw a free show. You feel me? I'm like, we could pick the performers, this, that, and the third, you know, and run it. And I looked at everybody's energy. Haas off rip was like, yeah, I'm jacking it. And like everybody else energy was, what's the politics? And I'm like, what you mean politics, bro? I'm like, I will put the show, I will organize the show, bro. Y'all don't got to worry about that. I know, you feel me? I'm not going to be on some like, put y'all niggas dead first. It's like, I know who should go win and, you know, like how the energy is set up. And it was just all politics. So I'm just like.
It's always politics.
I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, fuck that. I tried to get, I remember I was fucking with Dylan and them. I was talking to Dylan. I'm like, yo, let's put some bread together, throw an event. Niggas is iffy on it. And it's like, I'm like, this is years ago too. You feel me? This is like way before the pandemic. I've been trying to do this. Like, mad niggas on the scene. Like, I'm like, yo, like, let's do some shit. Like, niggas never want to do nothing. And I'm just like, you know, I'm like, I call myself doing my own shit.
Right.
Now I'm doing my own shit, and like certain people just be, you know, like Deli doing his thing right now, like Haas doing his thing right now, like niggas getting consistent. But I just feel like what the city, what New York is missing right now is that one event where like all of us actually come together, and it's like,
right, and do something.
I feel like that shit not gonna happen unless I make that shit happen. You feel me? Like I gotta just throw the show and book niggas to perform and really show niggas like, yo, this is how this shit supposed to go. Cause it's like niggas should have been did some shit like even with like EC Dub, like EC Dub been around for so fucking long, bro, and it's like for mad long, and it's like niggas be trying to shit on the Dubs, bro, and I'm just in my head, I'm like, bro, I'm like, they deserve a spot, you feel me, at least in this shit, you feel me? It's like,
nah, they hold weight.
They hold weight in the city, bro. Like they've done shows with Wiki, done shows with all the LES niggas that been lit. Like they was underground before like they were the youngest niggas in the underground.
It was the underground.
You feel me? Like they was the niggas, bro. And it's like even now, it's like it's cool to see like Ills like fucking with my son Shabazz and everything. It's like, and it's showing me. I'm just like,
shout out Chip, man.
No cap. Shout out my son Chip. And it's like I be telling niggas, I'm like, bro, I'm like, we need more of this. And it's like, I'm starting to see it. It's like I'm kind of in that position now where it's like I gotta play my part and just tell niggas what they need to do, like, and just put it together for them. Cause like I had told niggas, I told Ills, I was like, yo, I was like, the shit at Pianos was fire, cause they want me to put a show together for them. But I'm telling them like, bro, I'm like, there's no like real spot for that right now. Like I told him, I said Pianos was lit, but it didn't need to be at Pianos. I'm like, the sound in Pianos is garbage. I'm like, the type of music niggas make, we need real sound. Like, we can't be in no spot with 2 subs and 3 highs. Like, like we niggas gonna be rapping over their music and you can't hear shit. It's just gonna start.
I'm glad you know.
Like I understand all of this shit, bro. And it's like I remember I had to tell niggas, they was like, yo, we could do that Lot 45. I'm like, bro, this is not a spot for performances, bro. And I'm like, all the spots that we could do shows at, I'm like, y'all not, like, niggas not trying to come together. Like, these spots cost 15 bands, bro.
It seems like you know the real recipe to having a good party.
Bro, I know the recipe.
Bro, good performance.
Every party I throw sells out on my own. Every party I've ever thrown in my life sold out. I have not thrown one party in my life. The first party I did as a hood nigga, it was a going away college party. Only 4 people came.
Oh.
You know what I did? I gave everybody their bread back. I was like, yo, fuck it, we in here.
Right,
straight. I'm like, we in the bar, we might as well drink. I'm like, I got a DJ here. He not about to be here for no reason. I'm like, y'all got shit to do? Niggas like, nah. I'm like, bet we in here. Niggas got drunk for the rest of the night, turned up. Respectfully, like, I'm just like, fuck it. Like, this shit not about to be a waste. I'm about to come out for no reason. I'm like, niggas ain't come, they ain't come.
It's for a vibe, man.
You feel me? I'm like, I'm here for the vibe. Nigga, be one nigga in here. I'll talk to you all night. There's some Henny here, bet we gonna chop it up.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it. And it's like, I don't know, bro. The city right now, niggas don't be wanting to. Niggas want to come together when it's convenient, and I don't like that shit.
Niggas
like,
be too cool for each other, man.
Like with this Halloween shit, like I've been asking niggas. I'm like, yo, who want to be a part of it? Who should I get? And like people was just like, yeah, blah blah blah. Drop my flyer, the 29th. Everybody party is the 29th now, and I'm just in my head. I'm like, it don't matter to me.
Right.
Feel me? Because I'm like, I know I got my own audience. You feel me? Like my shit sold out already. My shit sold out before everybody else shit.
That's strong.
You feel me? And it's like 400. That's 400 people.
Right.
And I only promoted it for 2 weeks by myself with Move Forward Music, and they posted it like 2 times.
So it's like what with push. Imagine what you really could do.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
It's like it's showing me now. Like my shorty was telling me, she was like no more fucking with niggas like that. Like she was like, you know who you want to put on, you know who you want to fuck with already. Like
and you know your worth.
Mm-hmm. It's like
so
like I really know my worth
niggas
now.
gotta come
Like,
correct now.
like I tell niggas my price. They like, oh, how much for a party? I'm like, yo, I need 2 bands. They like.
and that's still
they
cutting
like, that's
it.
too much, and I'm like, bro,
that's
I'm like,
still
2
being
bands is low right now for me. Like,
fully.
I'm like, you gonna make your breach back. You selling, if you selling $10 tickets, you're gonna make your breach back. If you selling $20 tickets, you're gonna make your breach back.
Right.
But niggas, I don't know, bro. Shit just weird. I just stay in my corner. I support who I support, and that's that. Cause like the next 5 years, like I told niggas is going hard. They like, yo, 2021. I'm like, no, 2021 is not it. 2022.
Yeah, 2022. Yep.
I've been saying that. I was on Clubhouse telling all the execs, I'm like, yo, 2022. I'm like, we don't need the A&Rs dead. We got TikTok. We don't need A&Rs.
Right. TikTok is really blowing niggas up.
We don't need A&Rs. We got TikTok, bro.
TikTok is important, bro.
Like we got a lot of leverage right now and a lot of power over a lot of shit. And I just be trying to tell niggas like, yo, like, don't let none of these executive niggas or label niggas or people in the industry try to finesse you, nigga. The only thing they could do is put a bag behind your marketing. Other than that,
Right.
there's nothing you can't do on your own because brands will hit you up directly if you that big.
Right. That's
Like-
a fact. That's a fact.
No cap.
So one thing about this year is kind of shitty, you know what I'm saying? And last year was all right. How did quarantine and the whole COVID situation, how did that affect you and whatever was going on at the time?
I mean, I was homeless for like 9 years. Well, almost 9 years. And it was my first time really having time to myself. Like, I never had my own bed. Like, I was sharing a bed with my brother. Like, when I moved out of my mom's crib, I was sharing a bed with my brother. When I moved out of my brother's crib, I was sleeping on the couch in my grandmother's house. Like, I never slept on a bed.
Right.
Like, never in my life. Like, this is my first year. Literally last week, like I said, is my first week sleeping on the bed, bro. And that shit made me no cap. And this shit is like, that shit humbled me on some different shit because that shit made me value my personal time way more
And time to self-reflect.
than I did.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I was going out, you feel me, trying to support everybody because that's just me. I like supporting people. And then I started realizing, I'm like, a lot of people I'm supporting don't even have me in their best interest, or better yet, they don't even respect what I respect.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know, like just sitting down, like them first 3 months when I went up there, I was just like I need to get outside. I need to do something. I'm like, I'm about to go outside on my bike, do DoorDash. My shorty like, you can't do that here. I'm like, I'm gonna try. Did it. I'm like, all right, it's not possible. I'm like, I need a computer. Bought a computer. You know, unemployment was hitting.
Right.
So I'm like, saved up 2 checks. Yo, just get a computer. We got a computer. After that, for my birthday, I bought an Xbox. First game system I ever bought since I was a kid. First game system I ever had was the first Xbox. And I'm like, bet, I'm about to just Xbox it up now. Got an Xbox, playing Call of Duty. I just was in the crib, bro, and it's like, I was with my shorty and her moms for like 2 months. And then we got, because we had a shady landlord during COVID. Like, I don't really want to talk about that.
Didn't we all?
Yeah. Nah, it's different, though. It was my mans, you feel me?
Oh,
yeah,
that's even weirder.
Whole different situation.
Yeah, that's
but,
crazy.
Like, moving past all of that, it was just like, we finally got a crib. Like, my rent is $675 right now. I got a 2-bedroom apartment. No kids.
Hey.
I got a 2-bedroom apartment. I got 2 cats. My electricity bill is like 30 cash.
Right. Right.
Like, I'm not, like, coming to the city is like taking an Uber from Brooklyn to the city for me. So it's like,
That's crazy.
like, I don't know. It made me look at shit differently. And it's like, also it's like, I got to observe more. You feel me? So it's like, I'm just on the gram looking at what everybody else doing and shit. And I'm just like, all right, maybe I do need this time to myself. And it's like, taking that time to myself and then coming back to the city, it kind of showed me, it's like, damn, niggas really ain't fucking with me the way that they say they was fucking with me.
Right, because you see now everybody hitting you up.
Like I come to the city one week and it's just like, yo, bro, I need you to do this. It's like, bro, I don't even live here no more.
Right.
Like,
and they didn't even know.
And they didn't even know.
They don't check in on niggas, you know what I'm saying?
But I feel like it was needed. Like, quarantine, like, all of us, we needed that shit because We was moving around a lot. We was doing a whole bunch of different
It slowed us
shit.
down a little
We
bit.
we had too much energy around, like a lot of the wrong energy too. You feel me? We had like a lot of shit going on around us, and I feel like quarantine really like separated everybody so they could get their shit together and figure out like what they really want to focus on. And it's like that shit made me realize I'm doing all these parties with niggas, and it's like I got all of these ideas. Like I'm going through my notebooks, my Gmail, and I'm looking at shit that I wrote down. I'm like, damn, I ain't even do this yet.
Right.
So it's like, I'm like, I gotta focus on that now. So
It's time to sturdy up.
yeah, niggas want to be mad, they be mad.
Right.
You feel me? Like, don't be mad. I'll give you opportunity. Shit.
Right.
You want to be mad? Cool. Stay in the corner.
It seemed like what's your sign? Because it seemed like you love hard.
I'm a
like how
Gemini.
Oh, really?
Word?
That's crazy.
I'm a May Gemini at that. May 30th.
Oh, man. Okay, so you cool.
Yeah, I'm not the crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, I could get there. You feel me?
Right.
But I be chilling.
right.
Like it take a lot for me to get tight.
It seemed like it because you seem real, you know what I'm saying, humble.
That's why niggas be trying to disguise it like when I'm mad and I'm at a party wild and it's like, oh, LeVar is drunk. Like, no, y'all just got me mad. Like, y'all never seen me mad before, upset.
Right.
So y'all uncomfortable now.
You know how to turn up on niggas. Like I feel you.
I think that it's definitely been interesting to hear all of these things and really like understand like, you know, where you're coming from because you've been around for so long. Hearing a lot of this shit to me is like, bro, it's blowing my mind. Like, it's dead ass blowing my mind. Like, and then you breaking down your experience and being like so dedicated to what you're doing, like to be able to host parties and meeting all
like
these
a lot of
people
niggas would have
put
gave
niggas
up.
on is crazy.
A lot of niggas would have gave up before you got to this point.
I told myself I'm not giving up until 30. I said if I'm 30 years old and I don't got at least 500,000 to an M, I'm gonna have a kid and get a regular job. Fuck this shit.
Respectfully,
no cap, like
respectfully.
no cap, because I'm not about to be that 30-year-old nigga still trying to be 21. Like nah, like I'm gonna have a child and settle my ass the fuck down.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna chill.
Right.
So
Nah, that ass.
So it's now or never.
Right.
No,
cap.
but it's been really in New York, and I think we're out of time right now. You
are we
feel
out
me?
of time? Yeah, I think that's our time.
Yeah, it's been our time.
Yo,
and shit.
Dick by fucking air, man.
Yeah,
The biggest
bro.
dick.
Fucking playing with him, nigga. Stop playing with.
Listen,
yeah, nigga.
I'm gonna tell y'all
stop
niggas.
playing, nigga.
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all niggas just like niggas telling me. Fuck these niggas, bro. Fuck these niggas. Do you? Fuck these niggas.
Nigga.
If niggas
Yeah,
not jacking
nigga.
your shit, do you?
Yeah,
just
nigga.
do you. Because at the end of the day, you gonna up it on niggas. No cap.
No
Because I'm
cap,
really upping
nigga.
it on niggas right now, and they upset.
We got legends in the fucking building, nigga. Stop playing, nigga.
Niggas be good.
Niggas be tight, bro.
Yeah, really in New York, man.
really
Really in New York, man.
Really in New York.